Right now, the man charged in connection with a case of a missing Tennessee girl who was found in Madison has entered a plea. We'll have the very latest. And Jussie Smollett has been removed from the TV show Empire after being accused of creating a hate crime hoax. Plus, anticipation builds for the special counsel's report. We'll have what the Trump administration's take on the possible release.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Okay, welcome to News 3 Now on this Friday. We'll get to those stories in just a bit, but first, let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first alert forecast. Chris?
Yeah, that's right, and we are enjoying the sunshine out there now, but there is more on the way in terms of wintry weather around here. We do have winter weather advisories that are in effect for the entire area. Those are going to go throughout much of your Saturday morning. We zoom out, we have much of the upper Midwest under winter storm warnings, and that goes all the way back to the desert Southwest with those winter storm warnings as well. So it's going to be a busy period for us in the weather department, really across the country, as there could be severe weather across the deep south as well. Here's how things are shaping up at the moment. 29 degrees right now, 32 as you work your way south down towards Janesville, 24 though back in Lone Rock. So most of those temperatures are into the 20s and 30s. We are at 29 here in Madison and a sky full of sunshine. Winds coming out of the south at 7 miles per hour. But as we zoom things out, you can see the beginnings of the next system already starting to form with that connection back to the desert Southwest as well. We do have alert days through the weekend. We are talking up to a quarter inch of ice, along with potentially up to an inch of snow, high winds, and some heavy rains as well. I'll break down all the timing that we need to expect coming up in just a few minutes, Mark.
A little something for everyone, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. We are getting all 4 seasons in one weekend here.
All right, we'll check back in a few minutes. Thank you, sir. Top in our news today, police in Florida have charged New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft with misdemeanor solicitation of prostitution. Police say they have videotape of Kraft paying for a sex act inside an illicit massage parlor. Jupiter police told reporters that the 77-year-old Kraft has not been arrested. A warrant will be issued and his attorneys will be notified. The charge comes amid a widespread crackdown on sex trafficking in the area surrounding Palm Beach County. About 200 arrest warrants have been issued in recent days. A spokesman for Kraft said that they categorically deny that he's engaged in any illegal activity. A Wisconsin man accused of helping a 14-year-old girl escape sexual abuse in exchange for video of her being raped has pleaded not guilty to sexually exploiting a child. A Tennessee newspaper reports 31-year-old Brian Rogers also pleaded not guilty yesterday to making a false statement. Authorities have said Rogers met the Tennessee girl online and she told him that she was being raped by her adoptive father. They say Rogers offered to help her run away if she provided him, quote, clear video evidence so he wouldn't get in trouble for taking her. Court records say he brought the teen to his Madison home. The girl's adoptive father was arrested on rape charges. Madison police say a pair of walkie-talkies, a well-placed camera, and the jig was up. Corey Tornai, Caitlin Crotcherwill, and Jenna Corrado are being held on burglary charges after detectives say they tried stealing copper wire from a West Side construction site. Officers responded to the 4700 block of Crestwood Lane Wednesday night. Police responded after alarms were going off at an apartment building which was under construction. The project manager was able to watch surveillance video and see a white van circling the site. Police found a woman hiding inside with a walkie-talkie. They used that walkie-talkie to get a hold of the other suspects. A stretch of Interstate 3990 in Rock County is down to 1 lane as crews work on repairs. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation says I-3990 North will be restricted to 1 lane south of County S. Chopier Road interchange, which is exit 183. That's near Beloit in Rock County until about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Maintenance crews will complete the pavement repairs in that area. Backups and delays are expected on the northbound interstate, so try to avoid that area. The executive producers of the television series Empire are removing Jussie Smollett's character from the last 2 episodes of the show's season to avoid further disruption on set, they say. Smollett had told police last month that he was attacked by masked Trump supporters who hung a rope around his neck and doused him with an unknown chemical, all while yelling racist and homophobic slurs. Chicago police arrested 2 men Smollett would later say that were his attackers, but they turned out to be friends of his. Smollett's lawyers said in a statement, the Empire star feels betrayed by a system that apparently wants to skip due process and proceed directly to sentencing. Special counsel Robert Mueller is close to wrapping up his investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential race, and Washington is eager to see it. Nicole Killian has more details from the White House.
Special counsel Robert Mueller's report summarizing his nearly 2-year investigation of Russian interference in the 2016 election is expected as soon as today. The finished report will be handed over to Attorney General William Barr. It will then be up to him to determine what information, if any, will be released to the public.
We think the public should have moved on a long time ago. In fact, I think the public did move on a long time ago. I think the only people that are still hung up on it are Democrats and the media.
Democrats in Congress have vowed to subpoena the report if its full contents are not shared with the public. Friday, President Trump retweeted a political cartoon mocking the media as eagerly awaiting evidence of collusion, evidence the White House says doesn't exist.
It's real simple to me. The president, far and away, was the better candidate. He had a better message, and he outworked Hillary Clinton. That's why he's president. He didn't need to, nor did he collude with the Russians.
6 former Trump associates have been indicted or pled guilty in connection with Mueller's investigation to crimes ranging from tax evasion to lying about contacts with Russians. But Mueller hasn't charged any American of conspiring with Russia to help the president win the election. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
And if the report is not released today, it says it'll unlikely be released next week while President Trump is in Vietnam for his summit with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. Catholic Church leaders have gathered at the Vatican to discuss ways to prevent clergy sex abuse. On day 2 of a special Vatican summit, church leaders focused on accountability to confront decades of sex abuse scandals and cover-ups. The Archbishop of Chicago called for new legal procedures to investigate predatory priests. Pope Francis gave participants a list of 21 reflection points for action that can be taken after the church leaders leave the summit. They include using experts to help investigate abuse accusations. And there's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Today, I'm sharing a friend's recipe that blew me out of the water. No kidding. These are that good and so easy to make. Today, I'm so excited to share a recipe that I got from a good friend of mine at QVC. You may know him as the Gadget Guy, but his real name is Mark Charles Masilli. I have to say, not only is he an amazing cook and baker, but he's also one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And wait until you try the no-fuss sticky buns from his new cookbook. They're crazy good. Let me show you how he makes them. We'll start by combining some brown sugar, melted butter, and corn syrup. Then we spread that onto the bottom of a baking dish before sprinkling on some chopped pecans. Then we brush some refrigerated crescent dough with butter and top that with some brown sugar, pecans, and ground cinnamon. This gets rolled up and cut into slices that are about 1 inch thick. Then into a baking dish they go. When they're done baking, they get flipped onto a platter so all the ooey gooey stuff is on the top. Between the flaky dough and the caramelized pecan swirl topping, I can't decide which part is my favorite. All I know is I had to share these with you. To get the recipe for Mark Charles' No Fuss Sticky Buns, along with information on where you can get his cookbook, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a yummy no fuss way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Thank you, Howard. There's more to come on News 3 at noon. A quiet and mild winter day across the area, but that's probably going to change this weekend. Meteorologist Chris Reese will have your first alert forecast when we come back. Our Call for Action phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issues and call our hotline. Volunteers will help you with any consumer complaints. The number is 608-270-2833. The service is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. Ford faces questions over fuel economy and emissions and salty special deals for National Margarita Day. Diane King Hall has more in today's Money Watch report.
For
Ford has launched an investigation into whether the car maker overstated gas mileage and underreported emissions on an array of vehicles. The company says it has hired an outside firm to run tests after receiving employee reports of possible problems with the calculations of pollution and mileage. Big change at the top of AutoNation. The car retailer says CEO Mike Jackson will step down March 11th. He is being succeeded by Carl Liebert, who is currently the chief operating officer of USAA. Separately, AutoNation reported quarterly earnings of $92.7 million. Google is putting an end to forced employee arbitration. On March 21st, the company will remove a mandatory arbitration clause from contracts, but Google won't reopen settled matters. Workers protested the practice that critics say prevents employees from suing over claims of discrimination and harassment. And Americans love their margaritas. In fact, according to deals site couponfollow.com, 86% of people surveyed love or like margaritas. And several chains are offering deals to celebrate National Margarita Day today. Bahama Breeze is offering $2.22 margaritas. Chili's has 3 specials for $5. And On the Border is offering $2 classic margaritas. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Thank you, Diane. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials up 177 points. The NASDAQ up 57. S&P 500 also almost 16 points in the plus side. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee out of the radio barn today, so here are your farm numbers. Pam will be back with us on Monday. Chris Reese is with us now. A messy weekend on tap.
That's right. So enjoy the sunshine that we do at least have out there right now. Temperatures also not that bad for this time of the year. We sit at 29 degrees. Wind still out of the south at 7 miles per hour. But temperatures across southern Wisconsin are all in the upper 20s or low 30s. 32 in Janesville right now. Same for our friends over in Mineral Point. Boscobel also at the freezing mark. Lone Rock, though, at 24. 25 as you work your way over towards Juneau. 28 for our friends down in Platteville. But we do have winter weather advisories for everyone in the viewing area except for Juneau and Adams counties right now. And then we do have winter storm watches as you work your way towards the north and west. Also, we go down to the south and west, and we do have winter storm warnings. And then over in the deep south, we have a lot of flash flood watches and flash flood warnings. So we're busy across the entire country as a whole and focusing on the deep south, who will get severe weather along with tornadoes and damaging winds throughout tonight and tomorrow. They are also the bullseye of where more flash flooding could occur. But what we have driving the weather across the country is a very powerful jet stream right now that has reached some record speeds in the past week. In fact, earlier this week, the jet stream reached a speed of 257 miles per hour. That helped the flight reach 801 miles per hour. So this is powerful energy that we do have that goes all the way back to the tropical Pacific. We call this the Pineapple Express. It supplies a lot of moisture into the southwestern part of the country, but still across the northern part of the Bering Sea, we have several different disturbances that will influence that moisture that's being pumped into the country. And so that's why we have seen storm system after storm system after storm system work its way on in. And our next one is already coming into the picture. So this is tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. We'll start to see at least some freezing rain, snow and rain working its way into south central Wisconsin. That'll transition over to all rain as we head towards late morning, and then we get a break going through much of the day. Here comes the heavy rain tomorrow night. That moves north. Winds increase on the backside of this, and some colder air pours in as well. That's going to transition things over to a period of some snow throughout the wee hours of Sunday morning. How much snow are we looking at here? Not a lot, folks. I am not impressed with the snow potential at all. I think generally we get up to an inch with the highest amounts to the north and west. But we could see some icing concerns, upwards to 1/4 of an inch of ice tonight before things transition over to a period of rain. And then as far as how much moisture we see out of the system as a whole, I think we could see upwards of 1 inch to 1.5 inches of liquid precipitation. So nonetheless, things are going to be very, very soggy and downright messy as you step out there. And then as that colder air comes back into Sunday, we're going to get very windy. Wind gusts upwards of 35 to 45 miles per hour. So wherever that snow does fall, especially across parts of southeastern Minnesota, the wind energy with the system could lead to blizzard conditions. So do keep that in mind if you have to be traveling. But this storm as a whole is a big deal, folks. That's why we do have 2 alert days for the weekend. No, we're not getting a snowstorm here, but the storm will impact a lot of people and a lot of travelers. Then we could see accumulating snow chances Tuesday and Wednesday next week, followed up with some cold. It's possible that we'll see temperatures going back down below 0 by next weekend. But hey, at least we dry out for a couple days.
That's all you got?
Yeah, it's the trade.
No locusts?
It is the trade-off right now. It has been a plague of snowstorms.
Yes, it has. All right. Thank you, Chris.
Anytime.
Coming up on News 3 Now at noon, we'll tell you about an event that celebrates the cultural heritage in the community. That's coming up. Well, an event that celebrates the cultural heritage in the community is returning to the Overture Center this weekend. The International Festival taking place tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Overture Center. It is a free event, and joining us To talk more about the event and what it has to offer is Mary Rose, who is the event coordinator. Good to see you again.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So tell us about the Cultural Festival. This started, what, 38 years ago?
Yep, so the very first Cultural International Festival that we had was actually a holiday festival that was started in November of 1981 by the Friends of the Madison Civic Center. So this is our 38th year. It is free and open to the public from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have over 30 different performances, over 40 vendors, including artisan vendors, info booths. All of the Madison sister cities are represented. So it's a really wonderful cultural celebration that is celebrating the diversity within our community, because almost all of our performers and vendors are based right here in Dane County.
We're seeing some video. I think, turn your microphone on here.
Oh.
Let's see here. Here we go. We're seeing some video here from years past. So, I mean, Madison is a very cultural diverse community, and this is reflected in this.
Yes, yes, it is. So, so we have over 65 different cultures represented this year at the festival. Some of the highlights that are new this year is the Wisconsin Tibetan Association is going to be performing. They're going to be doing some music as well as some dance, and this is the first time we will ever have had them at the festival. We're bringing back a lot of favorites as well from the past. Charanga Goza, who hasn't been here in a couple years, will be joining us again this year. And then we have some new vendors as well, including Legacy House Imports. They're going to be sharing some Scandinavian goods, which I'm really excited about because we have not had anything Scandinavian in quite a while. So I'm looking forward to that. And we have a couple of new food vendors as well, because we do also have food. Baraka is going to be joining us, as well as a Hmong food vendor. The business is called La Jo Bla, and they're going to be in the Madison Public Market when that opens. So we're really excited to have them at International Festival begin sharing their business.
You can take a trip around the world and just go to the Overture Center.
Absolutely.
All the performances are free, but the food and other things, there's
the performances are free. It's free to come to the building. It's free to check out the information booths and see all the performances, and then we have crafts for sale and food for sale.
Tomorrow, 10 to 5 at the Overture Center. Mary, thank you for being with us. Sounds like another successful year on tap.
It's going to be an amazing day. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Great to see you. And Chris has one final check the forecast for us.
Yeah, plenty of sunshine out there right now, Mark. We're going to keep that sunshine around at least early this afternoon. Expect those temperatures to top out around 34 degrees. Now, later on tonight, clouds begin to increase. Lows fall towards 24. We could see some light snow and freezing rain developing late, especially into your Saturday morning. We'll wrap things up into some light snow and windy conditions as we head into Sunday.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4. Have a great afternoon.